Hi, my name is Haleena Bharoocha. I'm 19 years old and I'm a recent graduate from Seattle University with a BA in sociology. I'm a public servant, weightlifter, and nature lover. As a Muslim woman of color specifically, I've experienced Islamophobic harassment and bias. These experiences often alienate me in my own home and leave me feeling unsafe. I remember one time I went to the beach with my friends and we were just there to have a chill day when a group of people approached us and started taunting us. And they said things like, "Where's your AK-47? Go back to your country. What are you even doing here?" And I was so scared and so angry, but instead of escalating the situation, my friends and I decided to leave. And since then, these kind of experiences have become a daily occurrence for me. And I've learned to cope over the years and to learn how to safely intervene using de-escalation tactics. And I knew, as I experienced these things, that I had to rise up for my community, I had to rise up for myself, because in a lot of these situations, no one intervened or said anything. So in following the footsteps of my parents and my family and those around me in my community who have bravely stood up, folks like Zahra Billu at the Council of American Islamic Relations, and also following the teachings of the Quran, which says stand firm in justice, even if it's against yourselves or your parents, I programmed and facilitate allyship in the Age of Islamophobia workshops, training over 200 people in bystander intervention. And after the 2016 elections, a lot of folks came up to me and asked, how can we help? How can we support you? And through this empowering experience, I was really embraced by love and found a strong community of allies. And if you want to be a bystander and if you see something happening, there are 4 ways that you can help. So these are the 4 steps. Number 1, survey the situation, see what's going on, and see if there's anyone else who can help you. So for example, you can go up to another bystander and say, hey, I see what's happening and I want to intervene. Can you help me? Can you record the situation as I go intervene? Number 2, go and support the targeted person. So you can go up to the targeted person and say something like, hey, my name's Haleema, I see what's happening and I'd like to help. Can I sit with you? Number 3, stay with the targeted person and continue talking to them. So you can just start a casual conversation. You can talk about anything like the weather or a movie that you saw recently. Like completely ignore the attacker and keep talking to the person who's being targeted. And do this until the attacker leaves. Number 4, after the attacker leaves, ask the targeted person how they'd like to proceed. It's really important to make sure that the person who's being targeted has full authority and has full ability in deciding what happens next. You can ask them things like, I can help you by being a witness in a police report if you choose to call the police and report this. I can walk you to wherever you are going, things like that. And always respect their decision. If they ask you not to call the police or if they tell you that they don't want to report the situation, make sure that you respect that. It's important to note this because in many situations, calling the police does bring in an additional weapon into the situation. There will be a gun immediately added into the mix. And also historically, the police have not really supported people of color and minorities. And so make sure that you are really respecting their decision to do that. Alternatively, there are other places where you can report this, such as the Council on American Islamic Relations. They have an app. The ACLU also has a social justice app where you can record these incidences and immediately they'll be sent to a database. There's also the Report Islamophobia app through the Center for Islamophobia Studies. And so these are some other alternatives that you can use for reporting. This also helps us gather more data that's accurate because Islamophobia is underreported in FBI reports and police reports. So just follow the 4 steps when you see something happening. It does make a big difference when someone intervenes. Just something as little as saying, I saw what happened is extremely validating.